Welcome to the Beer Channel. I'm John Starodemski, and today I'm going to take a little bit of a departure from beers that I usually write about or video log about. I'm not going to review a stout, a porter, an IPA, a pale ale, a bock, a double bock, a smoked beer, any of those great styles that we've come to know, love, and appreciate as beer connoisseurs, maybe even take for granted. Instead, what I'm going to be talking about is an American light lager. And why am I doing that? I'm doing that to pay tribute to the late great beer hunter Michael Jackson. So you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, Brew Guru, you're off your rocker. Why would you talk about American light lager, which is a bland, flavorless beer for the most part, when in context with Jackson? Well, what I'm trying to show you is what the beer world might be like if it wasn't for Michael Jackson. So I'm not going to say that we wouldn't have any of the craft brewing revolution if it wasn't for Michael. That's probably not true, but I don't think it would have reached as many people as it did. I don't think it would have spread as fast as it did if it wasn't for the beer hunter. I trace my own drinking history back to about 1982. And it was probably a year or two after that that I started reaching out to the better beers. At those days, we had the Sierra Nevada and Anchor Steam, of course, but you really didn't have a lot of other choices. Sam Adams came a little bit later. And I really didn't know much about Michael Jackson until maybe the mid to a little bit later 80s. Started to read some of his books. And then, of course, in 89, the Beer Hunter series came out. And all this time, he had been working behind the scenes to push the notion of different styles of beer. And that wasn't really as accepted as as different varieties of wine were, really he was the first beer writer, and that shows in his books. We've got a kind of a dog-eared copy of the New World Guide to Beer here, but I've had this since 91, I think. We've got some use out of it. I've got my copy of his Pocket Guide to Beer, which he actually autographed at a beer dinner in Orange, Connecticut in the early 90s, mid 90s. Later, he wrote books, The Great Beers of Belgium, which I've got somewhere around the house, Ultimate Beer, and The Beer Companion. He did a few series. He did the 6-episode Beer Hunter series, which is classic. Unfortunately, he always wanted to make another one, but never got that chance. And he even did some CD-ROMs that are pretty informational too. So that's all in addition to all the touring and tastings and things like that, writing for All About Beer, and really all the help that he gave to brewers over the years. So what I'm trying to do here is basically ask your support for a project. It's a film that John Richards is making. It's going to be about Michael. He actually followed him around and filmed quite a few scenes of Michael that will be in the film. So again, I think all of us, if I'd like you to go and if you could join in supporting this project, if you can make a small donation through Kickstarter. Or a larger donation, whatever you can afford. If you're a brewery or a brewer, even better. I think you owe a debt to MJ, and really this is a way to pay it forward. Do it for beer. If every brewer out there donated $100, we'd be there in no time, and the film would get made. So. There's a lot that we can do. Everybody does a little bit, and then the project gets funded. So far, unfortunately, I haven't seen a lot of support from brewers and breweries, but the donations from beer drinkers that have enjoyed his work are certainly starting to come in. So here's the beer that I promised you, the Big Flats beer. This is a beer that is sold at Walgreens. It's actually brewed for them by Genesee. I don't know who the marketing genius was that decided to call a beer Big Flats, but when I think of Big Flat beer, it doesn't exactly get my palate excited. But, maybe if it wasn't for MJ, we'd all be drinking Big Flat beer. So, I'm going to pop this open, and got a classic Heilemann Special Export glass. It's another beer from the days when Bud, Miller, Coors, Old Style, and a few regional brands were about all you had to choose from. Okay, you see that pale fizzy color, big carbonation. Really flat, as the name implies. As far as the nose, you know, as far as flavor, there's maybe some. I get a little cooked corn. Very, very light malt. Taking a sip, you know, this would be fine, I guess, ice cold on a really hot day, but, you know, other than that, there's not much going on with it. A little bit of malt. It's a little crisp. Definitely some adjunct flavor going on. Not much hops. Just a light touch of hops in the finish. Maybe a little sweet. But that's it. Again, I'm not going to dismiss beers like this outright. I mean, even beers like Coors, Budweiser, and all that, I've been known to drink them myself on a hot day. But I think about it the same way I do my favorite food. Whatever my favorite food is, I wouldn't want to eat the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of the week for the rest of my life. I'm sure you wouldn't either. And you don't want to do that with beer. You wouldn't want to be drinking this pale, bland, fizzy lager, and that's your only option for beer for the most part. You know, look at all the great styles that we have instead today. And again, a lot of it is because of the pioneering work of Michael Jackson. So if you, again, if you're watching this video, please go to the site and donate. I'm going to call on all of you video beer bloggers out there to do the same thing. Go reach your fans. I'd like you to make a video for the project as well. Put the link on there and ask your viewers to go out and donate to the cause, same as I'm doing, and let's get the word out. And I want to thank you for watching. I hope you'll check out my website, brewguru.com. Drop me an email, brewguru@brewguru.com, and Prost.